But here's where it gets even more critical, Art. By telling her she can remove her IUD, if you still messing with her around your birthday, you're giving her false hope.
False hope, that's it.
You're giving her false hope. And what you're doing, Uncle Shannon.
Yep. So you hold on, Shannon Sharpe. You're not looking after her of money, but then you're also at the same time leading her on for a relationship. That's very, very controlling, my friend. Very controlling. You got to give them both. It's like having employees and saying, I'm not going to pay you, but this isn't an internship either. So where does she stand? I always tell you boys, the first thing you got to do with a woman is you got to make her feel safe. Otherwise, she's going to put you in danger.
Shannon Sharpe, is you're turning this from a transactional relationship with benefits, sex for cash, and you're turning this into a legitimate romance. When Shannon told her she can take out the IUD, which automatically implies it's okay for me to get pregnant now.
Yeah. Telling a girl to get off birth control is the same thing as we can have a baby. Okay? It's not a literal thing you're saying to her, but in effect, it's the exact same thing. The same way telling someone that's driving a car, you can remove your brakes and get rid of them forever. That's telling them, you can crash this car now, bro. Same thing. So you're letting her know that a baby is on the way and you want to have a baby with her. You're not saying it directly, but that is the indirect statement.
Led this woman into thinking she was going to have a long-term relationship with you that would involve a child. Now, you and I know, Art, that something psychologically and emotionally had to be wrong with her, because why is a 19-year-old OnlyFans snow bunny thinking she's going to get married to or have a baby with Shannon Sharpe? It don't make sense.
No sense.
Why would he give you a baby and have to walk around letting the world know I impregnated someone younger than my own daughters, almost old enough to be my granddaughter? He's not going to do that. For her to think he would tells you that she had the mind of a...
Yeah, I agree, because if he was open to having a baby, really and truly, he would have made this relationship open. Remember, we only found out about this relationship once all this lawsuit came to light. So she should be realizing that he ain't liking you like that because he hasn't even made your relationship public. But at the same time, Shannon is still giving this young girl false hope. She just came out of high school, 3 years ago? So we have to bear that in mind. Like Dr. Umar was saying, that she's not psychologically all there, but at the same time, she's only 19. So she's naive in that way, as she should be. She's young.
A child. Wishful thinking, imaginary thinking, without a lot of common sense and logic. So let's go further, Art. This whole time she's telling Shannon, I want this big black baby. She says, I always wanted a black baby. Now, time out. Why does a 19-year-old snow bunny says she always wanted a black baby? You always wanted a black baby for what? Because you didn't want a black baby to raise it, because you're not black. Why would you want a black baby given the hell that black people suffer in this country? I believe she was trying to sweet talk him into the pregnancy. I believe she was trying to sweet talk him into the pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
And then when she said, you better get used to it. She texted him, Art, and she said, you better get used to me, because once you put that big black baby in me, you ain't never getting rid of me.
Yeah, that's where I have an offense.
She said, you better get used to me.
Nah.
Because after you put that big black baby in me, you ain't never getting rid of me. And I think that was the text message that scared Shannon Sharpe.
And also, why would you deal with a woman who objectifies your potential baby with you like that? Why would you want to deal with a woman who's defiling your potential baby that you might have together like that, and talking about our community's babies like that? Well, the answer's quite simple. He was not in it with her for a lovely relationship, and they're going to be husband and wife, or girlfriend and boyfriend, and they're going to go into the sunset happy ever after. He's in it for one thing alone: sex. And what's wrong with that? Nothing. Everyone can have their fun. It's a free country, it's a free world. However, simultaneously, he was leading her on into thinking that this might turn into something more. And that, my friends, is where Shannon Sharpe is going wrong.
Shannon got that text message when she said, after you put that big black baby in me, you ain't never getting rid of me. That's when he knew he was dealing with a psycho. And I think from that point forward, he start trying to separate, failing to realize that you didn't do this to no sister. You did this to a privileged white girl.
And this is what's mad about it. Like, who cares if she's a psychopath or not? My thing, as I've always said to you boys, is don't risk it. Now, is there anything legally wrong about Shannon Sharpe being 50-year-old something dating a 19-year-old girl? No, it's legal. It's fully legal. However, how the internet and society and his sponsors, who are paying him all this big money, are going to view it is as somewhat dodgy, somewhat speculative. It's going to make them feel uncertain. Why risk it? Why? Let's say they had intercourse 20 times. Was the 20 times of intercourse, Shannon, worth your potential downfall? Nah, it's never worth a downfall. No woman is worth losing your success over. None. None.